could be said that Gardner and Fitchburg are somewhat unique to the rest of the 3rd District. What have you done to familiarize yourself with these communities, and what have you found that sets these two cities apart from the district?
Well, it's like a story. Once we learned that Gardner and Fitchburg, Lunenburg, many of the towns bordering New Hampshire, Pepperell, Townsend, Ashby, Ashburnham, Winchendon, coming down to Westminster, and then we swing south and we also get Clinton and Marlborough that will now become part of the 5th District. But as I said, I've also represented a district that's been home to Haverhill, Methuen, Lawrence, and Lowell. And these are cities that share a common economic history to that which Gardner and Fitchburg have experienced, all rooted in the Industrial Revolution and struggling as their industries go south or go offshore with reinventing themselves. But they all have, and I've seen it in Fitchburg and Gardner, a very passionate and dedicated citizenry who care deeply about the places they call home, and people who work daily to make a difference here. So in order to get to know you, I've done a lot. I've come and visited Fitchburg State. I went out to Mount Wachusett. I've gone to the Hayward Hospital. I visited with the Chambers of Congress. We had a small business roundtable at Montreform, and I came last week. I was out shaking hands outside of the football game. So I'm trying to engage with the citizens in as many ways as I find possible to see what your vision is for yourself, to let you know that I will be an engaged partner on the ground. I will do everything I can to keep businesses here. I will do everything I can to support the community and what it seeks to do, and I will do everything I can to help its constituents as we deal with policy issues that put people back to work and deal with the deficit in a fair, responsible, and sustainable way.
John?
Thank you very much. Well, when I first heard that these new cities would be added to the district, I too spent an awful lot of time out here. I immediately came out and met with your former mayor, Dan Milott. I've met with a couple of your city councilors here in Fitchburg, and I recognize the challenges you face, especially with regard to the sewer issue and the increase in water and the cost of your water rates. I went out in Gardner and did the same. I went to their city council meetings. I met with Mayor Mark Hawk. I spent a lot of time with Mayor Hawk. Mayor Hawk ultimately endorsed me, as did Mayor Milott. So, look, no one city is more important than the next. The one thing that both these cities share with the other cities in this district is chronically high unemployment. And we need to get people working again. There's a social cost with regard to this as well. And we're only going to get people working again and getting this economy growing if we start focusing on the private sector, empowering small business, where the majority of all these jobs are created. So look, I always say that my campaign should be a dress rehearsal for the type of legislator I'll be, and I think anyone who's followed our campaign for the better part of a year knows that I'm accessible, knows that I'm responsible, and knows that I listen, because that's really important. You can't legislate unless you listen. Listen to the people here in Fitchburg, listen to the people in Gardner, and listen to the people in the other 35 cities and towns in this district. So I have an office out here, and we're proud about that. I don't know when the last time a Republican congressional candidate actually had an office out here in Fitchburg, but I do, and I plan on spending an awful lot of time here if I'm fortunate enough to win this race. Thank you.
Anything else?
Just again, I pledge to be an engaged partner. I have a long track record of that in the cities of the Merrimack Valley, and I look forward to doing the same here in Fitchburg as well as Gardner and the other new communities. Again, whether it's around working with the local government, Mayor Wong, Representative Dina Talley, Senator Flanagan, or whether it's promoting a company and being a resource to a company, or helping out as citizens. You know, we have struggled with one of the largest foreclosure issues in this country, and our office helped over 800 families avoid foreclosure. So we would want to be a resource to people as well.
Last word, John. Okay, let's move on. Matt Costello.